How many of you like Bruce Springsteen? Jumped in my car this morning to drive over, put a CD in the player, and the rains were coming down, the sky was cloudy, and the wind was blowing, and Bruce Springsteen started singing, "I'm waiting on a sunny day, gonna chase the clouds away." Remember that song? Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is our sunny day. This is our sunny day. This is our sunny day. Henrik, you and Barney and everybody that's part of the Fisker team, thank you for chasing those clouds away. For bringing the sunshine down on this plant and on this state for thousands of people that worked here before and in the future will work here again. I feel an enormous affinity to this plant. This plant was born in March of 1947, 2 months after I was born. And this plant over the years has created, oh my God, Streamliners, Pontiac Streamliners, Malibus, Chevettes, Buicks, Saturn Skies, Pontiac Solstices, Corsicas. I own no Corsica. Well, hands that can build all those cars can build Ninas. Hands that can build Pontiac can build Ninas. Hands that can build Chevettes can build Ninas. Hands that can build Solstices can build Ninas. Hands that can build Malibus and Saturns can build Ninas. And we're going to build Ninas right here on the floor of this plant for a long time to come. And we're going to sell them all over the world. All over the world. I was here, Joe, I was here early this year. Walked around the plant and y'all were about to launch a hardtop Solstice. And the folks wanted me to see it. I walked around with a woman who was a supervisor. And she said to me, she said, I'm a supervisor. I said, how long you work for GM? She told me, I said, where does your husband work? And she said, he works here too. And I said, what does he do? She said, he's an engineer. And I said, you mean you like work at different GM plants around the country, kind of go together? And she said, yes, I do. That's what we do. And I said, how long have you been married? She gave me the best answer I've ever heard. She said, 13 years, not long enough. Is that a great line? Is that a great line? Well, let me tell you, folks, when this plant opened in March of 1947 and started building those Pontiac Streamliners, over the years, a lot of folks said, you know, we're going to have to close that plant. And the men and women who work here refused to say yes or refused to say accept that. And they, by their bent of their labor, the sweat of their brow, the commitment to quality, the commitment to productivity, the commitment to good labor management relations, you said, we've not built these cars long enough, not long enough. And we're going to keep building them, and we did. And in the fall of 1992, when Tom Davis from General Motors stood right here in this site and said, we're going to close this plant, the men and women of this plant stood up and said, we've not built cars long enough, not long enough. We're going to build them some more. And by golly, you have for another 16 years. And earlier this year, almost 62 years to the day, General Motors announced they were going to close this plant and stop building cars here forever. And the men and women who worked here, the governor, the lieutenant governor, our congressional delegation, our vice president said, not long enough. Not long enough. We're going to build some more cars and we're going to find somebody like Henry and Barney and the whole Fisker team. Guys, stand up. Stand up. The Fisker team. Give them a great round of applause. Not long enough. Sitting out here next to our lieutenant governor and our county executive, our attorney general, this guy named Alan Levin. And I'm going to ask Alan to stand up. He's the guy who runs the Delaware Economic Development Office. Stand up and take a bow. Remain standing, if you will. Stay right there. Where's Larry Windley? Where's Larry Windley? Larry Windley, my state director. He and Alan joined at hip. You guys come across here together, right there. These guys have been joined at the hip. They have worked tirelessly for months to make this day possible. We get the credit. They did the work. Larry, Alan, way to go. Go ahead, on your feet, give them a round of applause. They deserve it. They've done great work. Let me close with this. When Ted and I were working in the Senate, where are you, Ted? Okay, Ted's in my seat, but he's wearing Joe's shoes. When Ted and I worked in the Senate this spring, Joe and the president were leading the fire from the White House, and we wanted to make sure, Joe wanted to make sure, we wanted to make sure that there was money in this bill to help seed the building of cars, trucks, and vans in this country that can get not just 20 or 30 miles per gallon, but 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do it. They're going to be built right here with money from the stimulus package. That's what we're doing with the stimulus package. We're building cars, creating jobs. I want to say, Joe, thanks for covering our backs in Washington. Thanks for working with Secretary Chu. And Missy Owens, who's the deputy chief of staff over the department, Joe's niece, and helped make all of this possible. It's a big shout out to Missy as well. Let me close with this, if I can. I've been to this plant many times over the last 30 years. I sat in your conference room with UAW leaders that are here today, folks who preceded Davey and, where's Joe? Where's Joe Riccio? No, Joe Riccio. Joe, great work, buddy. Great work. What a team. What a team. One generation of UAW leaders after the other, people who understand how important it is to work with managers like Bob Dolan and his team. But it's just been a great demonstration of leadership. And you don't get something like this done without great leadership from the governor of the state. And it's my pleasure to introduce him today. Jack Markell is not just smart. Jack Markell is not just he's not just a good leader. Jack Markell does not just surround himself with really exceptional people, a number of whom are here today and who worked on this project. But Jack Markell is selfless. He is dogged. He is tireless. He doesn't want credit for himself. He understands at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who gets credit for getting something done, but the important thing is to get something done. That's a leader. That is a leader. Jack, come on over here, please, just for a second. No, don't hold your applause just for a moment. I listened to more than one Bruce Springsteen song today driving over here. And I listened to Into the Fire. Some of you know that song. And one of the lyrics goes, may your strength give us strength. May your faith give us faith. May your hope give us hope. And I want to say to the men and women who worked here generation after generation after generation, building the cars that we grew up with and loved and drove, thank you for your strength, for giving us strength. Thank you for your faith, for giving us faith. Thank you for your hope, for giving us hope. And Governor, thank you for your leadership.